Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why you sometimes act in ways you later regret? Why harsh words come out when deep down you wanted to respond with patience? Why fear rises up in moments when you know you should trust God? These inner struggles do not begin with visible actions or external circumstances. They begin in a silent place, hidden from human eyes but fully exposed before God: the mind. Jesus taught something that directly challenges the way the world thinks. Society says that thoughts are harmless and private, that as long as you do not act on them, they do not matter. But Jesus revealed a powerful and freeing truth. Thoughts are never neutral. They are seeds. Everything that grows in a person's life, whether faith or failure, peace or turmoil, first began as a thought allowed to remain. When we look at the Gospels, we see that Jesus did not focus only on behavior. He looked deeper. He answered questions people never spoke out loud. He discerned intentions before words were formed. That is because the spiritual world precedes the physical one, and the mind is where this invisible battle is fought every day. This teaching is not about positive thinking. It is about spiritual survival. Many believers love God sincerely, yet live trapped in cycles of defeat because they ignore this battlefield. When we understand what Jesus taught about the mind, old chains begin to break, and a peace that the world cannot explain starts to guard our hearts. Everything changes when we accept this truth. Your life cannot be transformed until your thoughts are surrendered to God. Jesus made it clear that sin does not suddenly appear in actions. It is first conceived in the inner life. When he confronted the religious leaders, he exposed a hollow faith that cared more about appearances than transformation. They washed their hands and followed rituals, but their hearts remained untouched. Jesus then revealed a principle that changes how we view the mind. Out of the heart come evil thoughts. Notice the order. Jesus did not begin with murder, adultery, or theft. He began with thoughts. This means that every repeated failure, every destructive habit, every fall that seems impossible to overcome, started as a thought that was accepted, entertained, and nurtured. Many people try to change their lives by adjusting behavior. They try harder, avoid situations, and control outward actions. While that matters, it is not enough. Jesus teaches that you cannot cut fruit while leaving the root alive. If the mind remains unrenewed, the same patterns will return. The mind is a spiritual factory. Every action is produced there first. If you want different outcomes, you must allow God to transform what is happening inside. A mind filled with destructive thoughts cannot produce a righteous life. But a mind renewed by truth will naturally produce godly actions. This is a foundational truth. You cannot govern your life until you learn to govern your thoughts. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus took this teaching even further. He showed that God's standard was never about external behavior alone, but about inner transformation. The law said, "Do not murder," and everyone agreed. But Jesus revealed that the root of murder begins much earlier, with anger, resentment, and hatred allowed to grow in the heart. He made a shocking statement. Anyone who harbors unjust anger toward another is already in danger of judgment. To human logic, this sounds extreme, but in God's kingdom, it makes perfect sense. When anger is nurtured in the mind, relationships are destroyed spiritually long before anything happens physically. Jesus applied the same principle to purity. The law prohibited adultery, but Jesus explained that lust begins in the thoughts, a repeated fantasy, a lingering look, an image replayed in the mind. These corrupt the heart before any action takes place. Jesus was not trying to condemn people, but to protect them. He knew that thoughts left unchecked eventually destroy lives. Many assume they are spiritually healthy because they have avoided visible sins. But Jesus invites us deeper, calling us to allow him to cleanse the inner life. Thoughts matter. What you allow to live in your mind is shaping who you are becoming. This is why Jesus calls us to take our thoughts seriously. The condition of the mind determines the direction of the heart and ultimately the course of life.